everyone. Hello again. We're back. I can't
Hi
believe it's been
everyone.
a month, to be quite honest. Possibly more
Time
than a month.
flies.
Um,
Yeah,
so today we're going to look at Nicola Bulley. I have never ever read on her. I think when her case broke, I think I was just starting to dip my toe into more controversial content. Um,
right.
I mean, with you, it was you said it was actually the Nicola Bulley case, which you'll explain was the
She
thing
was the
you into
case that
YouTube.
started my YouTube. Yeah. The dreams and everything that I
Mm,
had of her was where I started. So I have read on her quite extensively. I have
yes.
16 videos of her in a playlist on my channel.
Yeah, which I'm going to watch after this because I've not
Yeah.
watched
So I'm
anything about
and
Trish.
and I
No, not
look
about
very
Trish, about
different.
you.
I've got to say I have blonde hair and I'm much younger. And I'm dark now, so completely opposite. So
Yeah,
yeah, yes,
yeah,
it's weird watching yourself back in the beginning.
yeah. So yeah, there's a playlist on your channel that people can go and watch and what because you said it's like a story,
There is.
16 videos of a story that's evolving over time.
Yeah, because I
Um,
had quite a few encounters with Nicola, quite a few from visions. Like she would come to me, usually water makes spirit come to me much closer. I'd have dreams of her, really strong meditations, and I just go through every detail of it. And it's funny, I'll talk about one of these things today that's happened and new recent information that's come out about Nicola.
mhm.
And it happens to relate because I just had to rewatch a couple of my videos back because it's 3 years later. I can't really remember what happened. One of the meditations that I had described me briefly, I would say I had a meditation. I was very tired. I was floating on the water. I had no idea that it was me. It was me in the meditation, very tired, just relaxing, just going with the current flowing. Normally in a meditation, I'm very active. I will go talk to whoever's around. I'll actively look out for, seeking an adventure and exploring. This happened to one I was just tired and I was just drifting along the water. And then I felt something drag me to the side of the bank and I just went with it and I just laid there on the side of the bank. And I've never in 30 years done that in a meditation, never. And towards the end of the meditation, the whole way I'm thinking, yeah, this is me. I'm just tired. I'm getting healing. Then I had the swans come to me. I have a connection with Nicola and swans. I detail that on my channel as well. Nicola had swans on her Facebook. I didn't know that. Somebody told me that, but she came to me in a dream as a swan, and she comes to me in all the meditations as a swan. She attached to one of my cards, which was me floating on the water as a swan, and in my original decks, and she equated herself to me to a swan. So towards the end of the meditation, I came out of what I was doing where I was laying and then I was looking at two swans and I thought, this is Nicola. That must be Nicola. And then I sat on the bench and I could see her so clearly. I was talking to her. I had this whole strong conversation. I listed it all on the video, talked about the whole thing. And then I thought, maybe that meditation I just had of drifting down that water and being pulled to the side of the riverbank and just
Mhm.
laying there was not me. It was Nicola trying to show me what had happened. Well, I've just gone in to check out the latest on Nicola, and there's a very recent video on there talking about how Mark Williams Thomas has said that recently two people have come forward with information that discredits the narrative of this case, the official narrative of this case that she either fell in or she went in on her own. Two people have come forward to give information to him saying that that completely discredits that. Well, I also found out on that same video that the person that found her didn't find her in the reeds. This person said he interviewed this person and he said that he saw her floating along the river and he grabbed a stick and he just pushed her to the edge of the river. And I thought, wow, that just makes so much sense to the meditation that I had because that's what I was doing, just
Yeah.
floating along. And I got pushed to the side of the bank and I just laid there. So that made, and until this day, until right now, that connection's never been made between that meditation I had and just recent information of him saying that that's what he did. He didn't find her in the reeds. He saw her floating and he got a stick and he pushed her to the side.
So was
So
that just a normal everyday man that did that?
that was a psychic, a psychic. I can't remember his last name. His first name's Jason, and he was the one that discovered her body on the 19th of February. Yeah, so interesting.
So
And I've got
he
a
did it
note.
physically and not like psychically.
No, physically, but they also, the oncology or the police had said that the most likely time that we would find her would be the 19th of February because
Mm,
that's when the next tide was going to come in and all that seawater would come in and wash her from, if she
mm.
was there, wash her from where she was and it would rise the water and take her over the weir. So they were expecting that that event or that tide would be when her body would be dislodged or that's when she would be found. And he just had, maybe he knew that information and he just happened to be walking along there. Maybe he was looking. But
It's
yeah, or maybe
interesting that a
maybe it was
psychic
psychic.
found
Maybe he
her.
had the psychic impression that that would be the day. Who
It's
knows?
interesting, and I'll tell you why it's interesting because I've never read on this case at all, not even privately. And it's the first case that's come up where we're going to do a video on it, and I've not felt anything whatsoever. Nothing. Like a brick
Right.
wall. Weird. And
Yep.
last night I sat there because I couldn't sleep. I sat in the room and I just thought I'm going to do some basic fact checking, just look at a picture, a name, etc. And the minute I saw her picture, saw her name, and saw it was Lancashire, I
Mm.
was given a vision of the Pendle Witches. And
Mm.
you know about the Pendle Witches,
I
the big
don't
witch
know.
trials.
I
Well, they were the
don't.
witches of
Which,
Lancashire, um,
okay.
and they were all executed. And I think there was a lot more of them. But we've had various witch trials in the United Kingdom, and Pendle Hill, it's a big thing
Yep.
for witches.
Okay.
Um, and I was like, okay. And I remember I was given the vision that a lot of women were put in water as a test, and about drowning if they survived and things like that. And I think if they survived, they were not a witch, and if they drowned, they were a witch. Um,
Right.
and a lot of the time, they were executed by that way for obvious reasons. Um,
Hmm.
and with you, and I thought, I wonder if it's either she's got a past life as a Pendle witch,
Mm. Mm.
she's got an ancestor as a Pendle witch,
Yeah.
um, or it can be all of it as well, or she's been a woman that's had a voice and would have been treated as a witch had she lived back
Hmm.
then and drowned.
Yes.
Um, and with you saying a psychic,
Yeah.
I feel as though them two, should I say those two, are connected at an energetic
Definitely.
level. A
She
wizard
has
and a
an
witch coming
absolute
together.
powerful energy, Nicola,
Mm,
because I've never had, well, there's been a couple that have been really strong that have come through for me, three cases,
mm,
Nicola being the first one, very, very connected. Her energy is intensely strong. It's like she had a message. She had a message that she needed to get through, and she was going to
mm,
as many psychics that she could to get her message through. The other ones that I've been most connected to and had such a strong connection to was Sebastian Rogers, and
mhm.
then the Idaho 4 case. Very, very strong readings on all of those three cases.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And
A
I wonder if
very strong energy she has for psychics.
mm, I wonder
Mm.
if the swan could also be like a familiar, or has her shape shifted into a swan, which again is very witchy, isn't it? Not like a
Yeah,
normal everyday woman that she appears in the press. She
yeah,
doesn't, to me, when you see it in the 3D, she just looks like a normal everyday millennial
she
woman.
does. She does,
Um,
yeah.
there's
All
no
the
esoteric
normal
stuff there.
50-year-old women things she's going
Yeah,
through. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I think there's something in the past life as well as whatever's going on, some type of a karmic repeat. So
yeah,
has she been executed in that life as Nicola Bulley?
yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Good, a good
Mm.
question.
And the fact that a
Mm,
psychic, I didn't know that.
mm. Yeah, yeah, psychic Jason, but I can't remember his last name, and I apologize that. So you might want to pop that in the comments if you
Mm.
know that yourself. Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, so many fascinating parts to this case. Mm.
Interesting. So I've pulled some cards privately.
Hmm.
And I've been using a deck that we've just got. I've no idea who it's by. We got it off Temino. And Gary used it first, and he said it's the right Trish deck because it just gets to the point straight away.
Yeah,
And I thought I know I'm working with you in this, and I've got your decks here also. But I thought I'm going
yeah.
to give it a whirl and see what comes up with it. And when I opened the deck up and I put it on my desk, I flipped it by accident, and the bottom card was facing up. And it was this one. But I thought, oh,
Hmm.
I'll shuffle anyway. I'll just shuffle. And I
Yeah,
shuffled. This was the first card that came up again.
yeah. And you
So,
know nothing about the case,
no.
but it turns out that allegedly an insurance policy was taken out on Nicola. And if you want to fact check that, I'm quite sure you could probably
Hmm.
get that information a couple of weeks before she passed
Yeah.
or went missing.
So, a man looking at his phone, income, money issues. I then got restriction. So something coming after him, red letters possibly, debt letters,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
the
Financial
city.
distress.
Now this may have nothing to do with it, but Andy Burnham has just launched number 10 in the North. And he came out of a building that reminds me of this. Now, Lancashire is Manchester, isn't it? So was there something
It
connected
is,
to the
yeah.
city of
Yeah.
Manchester?
I'm very connected to Manchester because that's where my family's from.
Is
So
it?
I've the instant Nicola came on because she went worldwide. She was
Mm.
all the sleuths in America picked her up. She was on our screens here in Australia. And the minute she came on, I was so obsessed. I was connected to her straight away. She was my age, experiencing going through the same things that I am going through, perimenopause and all those kind of things. And Manchester, that's my family's region. So I very connected to her
Ah,
from the beginning. And then I started having dreams about her. And I thought, I've got to do something about this. I've got to get the cards out and start reading.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm always grateful to Nicola. She was the one. She's the reason why I'm on YouTube, and I'm forever always grateful to Nicola for that
Wild,
reason.
isn't it? And then we've got disclosure, a man and a woman, so confiding in something.
Mm,
And then I got your deck out, and I got whatever it is, wanted to control her.
yeah, I think so. I think there was a little bit of that kind of energy.
And forgiveness and peace, so finding peace as well.
Yeah, good.
So those are what
Moving
I've
on
got
from
so
past
far.
grievances. I always feel like there was some kind of battle energy, argument energy. Sorry, my dog's just come in. Um, so here, yeah, some kind of battles are going on between them, and that this all this information is allegedly everything we
Mm,
say here today because it's based on an actual case is all allegedly. We're just
mm,
having reading cards, card reading. There's no facts with
yes.
everything that we say here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
but I always feel like there was a bit of problems in the marriage, let's just say that. And that
Mm,
disclosure card that you pulled out where they're kind of talking, I wonder if somebody disclosed something about how they really feel about the other person, how they feel about another person, maybe. I feel like that disclosure card could be relevant to maybe an argument they had the day before she went
mm,
missing.
mm.
Mm.
It's just a bit like Anne Widdecombe's murder as well, because Anne Widdecombe had this 10-minute slot where everything happened in this 10 minutes
Mm.
on a phone, getting a Zoom link, and it's very similar to Nicola, where she was
Yeah,
sat on a bench on a chat
yeah.
or something,
She
and
was
then
on
all
a
of a
Zoom
sudden
chat
she
for
just
work.
went.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. Like it's
So
an
was she
instant
on
as
this
well.
chat when she went missing?
She was on a work call or a work chat. I think she was on like a work chat. I don't know if
Mm,
it was like a face Zoom or a work chat, but she was on a work chat. And she was walking the dog and she had left her phone. Oh, there's so much in this case. It really is. There's so
mm,
many intricacies to this case, but her phone was found on the bench along with the dog lead. But people that lived near the area I believe in the caravan parks near the area, um, didn't like her letting the dog off the lead because she'd walk the dog down all the time. They didn't like her
mm,
leaving, letting the dog off the lead. Well, they were all connected to the person that reported it that the dog was there round by itself to the school. They phoned the school and let them know that Nicola's dog was just walking around. They found the dog. And then the school phoned Paul and let him know that. And then Paul started worrying. This is maybe an hour or two after she'd been gone.
mm,
And he started worrying about it. He started making all these calls to her. And then half an hour later, after he got that information from the school, you see him on the video getting into his car to go and look for her. Half an hour after getting the news that the dog's been spotted, but not Nicola. I don't know. To me, I think I'd be in that car instantly. I'd be as soon as I found that information, I'd be in the
mm.
car, just going to sort out and find out what's happened.
Yeah.
And I've got to say another thing now that we're talking about
Paul's the partner, isn't it? Yeah.
partner, the partner Paul. One of the readings that I done because I was using my connections oracle, which is what the one I've got now. This one it happens to be an
Mm,
aggressive attack that I've got out. But you'll notice up the top there's like little numbers or there's little letters.
mm,
And I was doing a reading with Nicola and I said, "Tell me who you'd like to talk about today. Give me the initials of the person that you want to talk about today." The A came out. And then I kept shuffling, a couple of numbers came out, and then the letter P came out. Paul Ansell. His last name's Ansell. So that's who she wanted to talk about for that reading. So yeah, for whatever reason it was, but yeah, inside
That's what
job
I
taken out.
stopped shuffling to listen to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I actually asked in my head,
yeah.
Paul's energy, I like it. And there's two crimes connected here.
Right. Yeah.
Could there be some financial stuff?
It
Financial
could
crime?
be. Yeah, I've kind of heard that over the years. There's been some kind of connection to some one creator came out once and said there was some connection to something way back, the way back at I can't remember exactly what it was, but some kind of farming policies or something. There was some connections back there. But this, I mean, this case is 3 years old, so
Mm,
it's such a long time ago. But I always think there was two people connected.
mm,
Where that says two crimes connected, I always suspect that two people connected to this case.
yeah. Rumors behind your back. So there's things that she can't trust, people that
Mm,
she can't trust. There's a show
mm,
going on behind
mm.
closed doors. Is this a show relationship?
The whole thing was a bit of a show, I think. The people that came out, I don't know, it all seemed a little sus. And everybody will say, you hear all the comments on all the videos. A lot of people would say it looked like a show for the camera
Mm,
from the people closest to her, not her parents. I really feel for her children and her parents.
mm,
When you see them in interviews, they are genuinely upset, and you can see how upset they are. But other people, I don't know, they seem to like the camera. Other people in the case.
yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I haven't seen any videos of them, but I will. Purposely disappeared. So this is in
Uh,
question about asking about again a digital footprint. So that's two very similar decks, but very different decks. Very
in
similar
It is,
pictures as well.
and you know what's interesting about that is that I just read today that I wonder if there's an anniversary or alcohol related, the card alcohol related. So that's what they're showing me. And
Mm.
I will tell you that. But getting back to what you just said, what was the two cards you just had?
Digital
The phone
footprint.
records. People were saying that he actually didn't have a full investigation. That's what I just watched on a video before coming on here. They were saying because of your laws or regulations, there was no real full investigation done on the partner.
Why
So
not?
that with that phone records, I would think there would be a full, the history, the footprint, the digital footprint, all investigated, but I'm not sure if there ever was. And the alcohol related, they would all say about Nicola that she was going through
Mm,
perimenopause, having issues, and she was strong with alcohol. So
mm,
they really wanted to push that narrative about Nicola being
mm,
drinking. There was no alcohol found in her toxicology when they found her. Um, and then it was said that there was a welfare check done prior to her passing to go and check her welfare to the police. Now, I've always thought that was Paul that done the welfare check on her because they were concerned, she's menopausal, she's
mm,
alcohol related and alcohol connected. But then I just watched the video saying that her sister had put that welfare check in to the police, which is a little concerning. The sister being concerned about her sister, like I know, because if I thought something was happening to my sister, I'd be straight onto the police asking for a welfare check. So,
mm,
and yeah, that's concerning. So whether it was set up as a narrative and laying the foundations early on that, she's experiencing problems with menopause, whether that's depression or mental health, and she's got problems with alcohol, it was like a stage was being set prior to
mm.
her. Yeah, prior.
Stage.
Mm, yeah.
Freedom. Now this is about Paul. So what did he want freedom for? Moon.
Paul has freedom.
Yeah, but he's got freedom. So he wanted freedom. Why did
Yeah,
he want freedom from his
yeah.
partner? No,
He probably wanted
unclear. The
freedom from his
moon.
marriage,
Yeah.
allegedly, maybe.
The sister's energy in this. So the sister's energy.
Sister, I
She,
think her name is Louise, from memory. Could be wrong.
she only got the one sister.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I only remember there ever being one sister. Actually, I
So
might use my new cards.
yeah.
Look what I just pulled. The swans.
Joking.
The swans. That means Nicola's energy is here. That's beautiful. And she's talking about the spouse. that card down
Mm,
the bottom. I don't know if you
yeah.
can see that. It says spouse.
So the sister's energy in this, the sister's energy. Why did she ask for a check to be done on her sister?
Hmm.
The fool, risk taking. Was she taking risks?
Maybe that's what they're worried about. She was in a risky situation.
More
Family
than one
ties is what I
involved.
pulled for that.
More than one
Yeah,
involved.
I've always believed there was more than one involved. So family ties. We're talking about the sister.
She was investigating things undercover, the sister, possibly.
Looking into something now. I've got um defensive wounds. Defensive wounds. Maybe she saw something that she didn't like on Nicola.
A group involvement. So is this a group? Is this like one of those groups, or is this a group of people that are concerned about Nicola? And I don't mean this in a way that she's some raging alky. I mean, even if she is drinking, there's obviously a reason for it.
Yeah. And maybe it wasn't as bad. Maybe she just had a few wines. Like maybe
Mm,
it's not as bad as what they're making out. In all the pictures I've ever seen of her, she looks coherent.
mm.
She doesn't look like she's got an issue with alcohol.
Oh, evidence or statement gathering evidence. This is a sister. A well-funded operation, but was it for the best intention?
Mm.
What is she gathering evidence for?
I've got unsafe home. She may have been concerned that it was an unsafe home or a sister was unsafe in the home or in a risky situation.
Could the sister be in love with the partner?
There is a
Oh.
friend. There's a friend. She's on the media a lot. Her name is Emma. She's quite vocal in early days of searching for Nicola.
Mm,
Um, yeah, so she's another one to look into
mm,
around this. So there is a kind of a group. There's a whole group together. So the one that what lives near the park that she walks at that doesn't like her letting the dog off the lead. Her name's Penny. Then there was somebody that found the one that found the phone on the bench. His name is Roger. And there's I think all these people are like connected, and I think somehow they're connected to Paul as well. I went through all this and I found all the
oh,
connections, but I'm
so all of
pretty
these
sure
friends are
those
finding
people,
things.
yeah, yeah, yes. So
So it's
they
not
would have.
just a random dog walker comes across a coat and a phone on a bench. It's a friend, and it's a friend that,
It's I think they're known. I think they're known. I mean, it's 3 years, so I'm hope
yeah.
I'm not. I'm just recalling this information, but I'm
Mm,
pretty sure there was connections between these people and Paul in some way. Relatives, distant relatives. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure there's connections there. So there's when you say group involvement, there's like a whole bunch, and
mm.
and I ringmaster
Ringmaster, yeah,
organizers a ring. Yeah, that explains it.
yeah.
And I looked at each of the people individually, and I don't those people that I've mentioned, I don't think they laid a hand on her, but I think that they know things. They know something. So I'm not saying they were part of her passing and they laid hands on her. That's not what I'm saying. And I never
Mm,
picked that up in any of the readings, but I feel like they knew more than what they were letting the police know.
mm.
Mm.
So should we pull cards on what actually killed her?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just to go back to basics.
So what killed? What's the reason for Nicola Bulley's death? Crime of passion just flipped out, or desire?
Mm, crime of passion.
The lovers,
Like,
the relationships
You know,
just flipped out.
yeah, and passion can be relationship, anger too. Passion
Mm,
can
mm,
be anger
mm,
as well.
mm.
Relationship. Well, I got family ties, so
More
related.
than one involved.
I got that all the time.
Yeah. More
I
than one
death card.
involved. Again.
I got the death card out here.
Rumors behind your back. Stage show.
Exactly. I always felt there was something going on behind her back. maybe she found out about something. There was something going on with the job. I investigated, like I read every element to her. I read her job. I read all the people around, all the names of the people. I went thorough into that case. These days I only do maybe two or three readings on a person. Sometimes I just do one. But
Yeah.
Nicola, because it was my first and I was just so connected, that's all I did in the early days. I didn't do anything else. I did maybe some weird Wednesday readings. I used to call them a couple of picker cards, but Nicola was what I focused on.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
wild. So the sun, yes, connection to something. So this is
So that
what
was a
killed her.
yes. So yes,
Yes, there's more than one involved.
yes.
Accident? Was she arguing with somebody at the side of the lake, the river? Did she fall
Well,
in? Did
they
she
say it
push?
was. That's what they're saying. They're saying it was the verdict was that it was an accident, an accidental drowning. She fell in, an accidental drowning. I think that was the ruling and the verdict
Mm,
of what it was. So it was made to maybe it was either staged to be that or it was that.
mm,
Most people that have looked into the case don't believe it was that.
mm,
It's one of those cases where things don't kind of add up.
mm. Could
I
it
mean,
be that she's
because
arguing with someone? There's an altercation, there's a pushing, she
yeah,
trips and she falls in. So it's not it's an accident, but it's not an accident.
but it's quite shallow where she went in, and
Yeah.
where she went in was like a rock pool, so she could have stood up. I mean, I know the would have been really cold. January would have been cold
Mm, mm.
water there.
God, yeah.
Would have been cold, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it would have been cold. Of course, it would have been. That's your winter.
Mm,
So whether she was in shock from the cold instantly going in, that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, it was quite shallow water. So I don't think you would choose that spot to go in if you were taking your own life,
mm.
like into
And
a
even if
shallow
you got
place like
pushed
that.
in,
Mm. And went into shock maybe.
you'd
Unless
just stay there on the rocks or in the shallow end, wouldn't you?
yeah. Yeah, but then why wasn't her body found in the extensive search in that shallow area? It wasn't found in oh for day they did an investigation over 10 days and they did not find her in that area. They found her once the high tide came in and washed her over the weir. That's when they found her. So if she was in that space where she was pushed in that shallow area, surely they would have seen her. Because if she didn't get pushed down over the weir until the 19th when the high tide came in, then she was in that area somewhere and she would have been spotted
Mm.
within that extensive search they'd done. That's why people believe that she was not in that area. And I think I watched Mark Williams Thomas. No, I could be wrong.
Is he a tarot reader?
No, no, no. He's an investigator of some kind of some sort. He was involved in uncovering the Jimmy Savile stuff. So
Hmm.
he's some kind of investigator. I'm not quite sure who, but yeah,
Oh, is he
I
the
don't think.
detective with like the next detective that
I
talks
think
about
so. I think
Cliff?
so. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And how weird is that? Like the journey that
Oh
we've been
yeah,
taking,
yeah.
all of these is somehow connected to Nicola.
Mm.
He's getting information about Nicola. So yeah, it's like we're following the same little journey.
Mm.
Hmm.
I've got hostage or trade in domestic violence. When I ask what killed her,
Mm. Well,
how did
interesting
she
about that
die?
hostage and trade, I always believed that she was tied down. I got
Yeah.
it every time. I got it in my cards. My tied down card would come down every time. That card that I created in that deck was to replace my original deck that I used was my personal deck. It's got images of me and my family in it, which is why I no longer use it on YouTube. But it was originally me with ropes around me. So
Mm.
and it was called Tied Down. So I replaced it with that one, took my face off and but the ropes. So I still believe that's to me in my mind, it's still like the tied down card.
Mm. So I asked what killed her, drugs and alcohol.
Mm. No
Rumors
toxicology.
behind your back. I know, rumors behind your
Yep.
back.
Staged though, staged behind your
Let me
back.
keep a
And
well-funded operation.
mm, so that was money coming in through the insurance policy that was put on her a couple of weeks before she passed. The scene was set that welfare check was required because of the alcohol. No toxicology found in the no alcohol found in the toxicology report. But I always believe because I used to get it too. I used to get it, and I used to think, did she have something in her that she had to they had to take her body away for 10 days to allow that to somehow leave her system. I remember saying that in a reading
Mm.
once, that maybe there's something that she was given, whether it was some kind of drug or some kind of something that they had to leave it a few days to allow it to somehow disappear out of her system. I don't know how
Mm.
that works. Yeah, so I've always said that, always believed that. Mm. But I don't think it was alcohol because they didn't find alcohol in her system in the
Mm.
toxicology. They found nothing.
Mental
But I always
struggle or
got those cards
illness.
too. And there's the other thing that they blame it on too. There's that little stage card that you just pulled. The rumors behind your back is the stage. The stage was set for mental health and alcoholism.
But then we get temperance, life in balance.
Temperance is also alcohol.
Yeah, but it's
I only
also
just
like the Temperance Society is like stopping alcohol and balance, isn't it?
exactly. Exactly, that's what it is. I only had recently found that out like last year. I didn't know that's what that was.
Expose secrets. And one more. Hierophant authority. Could they have been part of something?
Yeah, I picked that up a few times throughout my readings. Some kind of help, official help.
Mm,
Mm. And one of the readings I got, I always felt that she was lured in some way to somebody she would expect to be safe around, somebody,
mm,
and you would expect to be safe around authority. So I always felt there was somebody there, and I don't know if it was Paul or somebody else that she felt like she would have been safe with. They would have been there to help her, but they weren't. I always picked up that kind of thing in the
mm.
readings. The other
You know
card
what?
that I've picked up next to death is rural cover. So they kept her undercover,
Mm,
maybe over those 10 days, not on the water, under off out of the water for 10 days.
mm,
So I've got the owl card, which is messages from the other side. So that's Nicola's energy popping in
mm.
from the other side.
I think she was strangled.
Oh,
Neck and throat. Slow down. Take your time. Because like I asked her, I said, "What killed you?" The throat. Slow death.
oh,
That would be, if someone depending on how strong they are, how much you're
mm,
fighting back. Shouldn't that
mm-hmm.
have come up in the?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they released everything. I don't know. I don't know about that sort from memory because I
Mm,
don't remember that ever coming up. I didn't. Now with the Idaho 4 case, they've
mm,
released the bodies, entire injuries. They've released all that information on the Idaho 4 case. I don't ever remember them
mm.
releasing anything like that for Nicola.
Why did I pick them? I'm gonna ask the cards why I picked that witchy energy up.
I've got the greed card, so
Mm,
indicates something around money.
mm. Cover up and tempering. Why did I pick up the Pendle Witch energy with this case?
So I've got the authority and secrets. So are they keeping secrets or secrets around official
Mm,
people and the crime scene to do with the crime scene?
yeah. What did she do as a job?
Okay, she worked. I can't remember exactly what she worked. She did work. I deep dived into her whole job because I thought maybe that she from this is from memory. I didn't rewatch my videos back that she found something out about the place she worked for. That was one of my thoughts that was coming up
Mm,
around the cards that maybe she discovered something about the place she worked and she was going to release that information or leak that information and they wanted to put a stop to that. So that was kind of one of the areas that I can't remember
mm,
the outcome of the cards, but I do remember those specifics of
mm.
looking into her job for that reason. Now I wonder if Paul was connected to where she worked as well. And
Yeah.
again, that would relate to the money behind it too. Hmm. So secrets outed. Ah, there we go. Given what I was just talking about, it says secrets outed, revealed. So what she knew, somebody didn't want her to reveal
Mm.
certain information that she'd had discovered. which could have led to the arrest of somebody for doing something wrong. And maybe that's where the two crimes connected comes into it.
Mm.
Mm.
Do you think that she could have been with somebody else as well?
I don't know if I ever asked that about. I don't know if.
Because I asked the cards something really different, and I've got really different answer. I asked the cards, what is the connection between Pendle and this case that I've sensed? And I got the
Hmm.
Fool, risk taking, strategy and planning. Now there's look like Masonic flaw there. Could be
Mm.
them. Do you know what I mean? The Hermit, kept in the dark. But the weird thing is, this, I've got a statue on my desk that I've put for this reading that I don't usually
Yeah,
do for these type of readings, and it's Mother Shipton. And Mother Shipton was a witch in Yorkshire that
yeah.
lived in a cave in Knaresborough. And we've got a cave.
Mm.
So could she have been kept in a cave somewhere? Or cave in
Possibly
the
for
dark, kept in the dark?
those 10
There's
days.
something going on here that's little bit wild.
It's strange. It's strange how they done investigative, like an in-depth search for her over those 10 days and they did not find her. So withheld, so either withholding information or withholding her body from maybe in a cave, but withholding her body from
Mm.
away from the water. And I pulled the card of rural concealment. So rural concealment would be concealed maybe in a cave. Now there was also some kind of drain, large drain, people always were asking about as well. And people were saying maybe she was kept in some kind of drain. I think they had some kind of doors on it too from memory,
Mm.
because that's one of the things people were always commenting on.
That's
Okay,
what
so
killed her. And I got the income card again. Something
yeah,
to do with money, income.
yep. And I just got a no for that drain. I don't think it was the drain that she was
Interesting.
concealed in. So was she, did she pass the way it was her declared passing? The way she was declared that her passing was either ruled an accident or she went in herself, no foul play, is what it was declared. Is that the case? And the card that I've pulled out here is negligence on the part of the authorities. So that's the authorities, the
Mm.
Hierophant, and negligence on the part of the authorities. Maybe not to investigate some of the
Mm.
things that were coming in. Maybe the people in the know were keeping quiet about situations.
Mm.
But I wonder if they could have done more in the investigation. And then the other, the story changing. So that's interesting, the story changing,
Do you
which kind of
know,
relates to that new information that's come in recently.
I've just remembered when I first heard about this case, I heard about being out in nature in the water. I remember thinking at the time, what if, I mean, we know that different beings walk this planet. We know that the different water beings and things that can take
Hmm.
you, mermaids. And I know this specifically because I used to like cruising. When I did my shamanic course, the shaman that taught me said,
Yeah.
I know you love your cruises, Claire, but be mindful when you're sailing on the seas because people can be called into the sea. People can
Uh,
be like, what was it? God, I always forget her name. Amy, is it the other girl? And you've done a read on that. I'm sure you have.
Bradford, no,
Oh, it does my head
starts
in.
with B. Yeah. Bradley, Amy
Bradley.
Bradley.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen the Netflix thing. And
Yeah.
this is before all of these. I didn't do any of this work then. And she said, just be mindful of water because the water can call you in.
Mm.
Energies can call you in, entities can call you in, female beings can call males in,
Hmm.
people, and there's all kinds of weird deaths around water. And I remember when I heard this case, and I remember being shown that teaching, because I'm always mindful now when I'm near the sea and river. Um, we went on holiday last year to Cornwall, and the cliffs that I always used to walk on, I went up with Gary. And the
Yeah.
weirdest thing, it was early evening, still light, and there was two other males on there, and they were at the edge of the cliff, pacing.
Oh.
And Gary was saying, "I'm going to
Oh.
come up here tomorrow and do his videos." And I said, "I don't think you should." I said, "The energy up here is not right." I said, "Have you
Yeah.
seen the males?" Like literally, we stayed up there a bit, so they're going to jump in.
Mm.
And the day before, well, a couple of days before, a man had actually been fishing on those cliffs, and either he'd jumped in, killed whatever, but he'd been. And I said, I'm not happy about you going up on these cliffs because there's something with men on these cliffs. Loads of
Yeah.
deaths on those cliffs, loads of
Oh, wow.
padlocks and things, and mainly men because I went off and Googled it. And I wonder if, because at the time when I heard about this case and water, what if it was something esoteric? What if it was something that came in to take her and hid her? Because all of this was
Mm.
going on. What if she was a Pendle witch? What if she has a
Mm.
witchy heritage? What if the
Mm.
wise women came forward? They
Mm.
connected with the water. Somehow it happened. The body was hidden. Because we know witches can be a little bit naughty.
Oh, yeah.
Let's set the
All
fuckers
of
off
those
and stuff.
elementals can be.
They can be,
Yeah, the
because another
fairy,
thing we're
all of
taught, be
them.
careful of those elementals.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. This
but it's
reminds
all
me of
true that
um
there's this web
the
of weirdness going on, but there's
yeah,
also these elementals that have come in to take her.
yeah. Well, it reminds me of the 411 investigator that does all of the missing persons in bushwalks when they're doing bushwalks and mountain walks and cliff walks, and how many of them have gone missing.
Mm,
They'll search an area, they'll bring the police in and they'll do their searches, their ground searches, and find nothing. And then a few days later, they'll find the person there, the body there, where they've already searched. So it's like they're
yeah,
taken away and brought back, and it's very suspicious about the entities that's doing it there.
yeah,
If you go into those 411
yeah,
investigations, yeah, you'll find a lot of that strangeness around those kind of missing people.
yeah.
Mm.
So I'm not discounting any of it. I think there's something
Mm.
going on in a marriage. I think there's possibly she is over drinking. She's perimenopause. I'm not saying perimenopausal, but I think it's all can be true. But I
Yeah,
just think there's
yeah,
something
yeah,
else that's going on here.
yeah. But I think there's more to it
Yeah,
than what it was just ruled. I just don't
yeah. I don't
believe
think
it
there is. I
was.
don't think the official thing. What's the other lad that was in Spain? Was he called Luke or something? He went missing. He went walking after a night out or something.
Yeah. Oh, not coming to me. But yeah, I know I did a
Is
couple of
it
readings
Luke? They
on
did a
that
GoFundMe, didn't they,
young.
for him?
They
And
did. They did. No, it's not coming to me. But yeah, that was a strange one too, that one.
yeah.
And not solved. How many cases are just not solved? There's so
Yeah,
many of them that
because
don't get
it
solved.
goes out of humans. The police aren't trained with that. Glencoe is another one where people go
Mm.
walking in Glencoe in Scotland and they just go missing and then they're
Mm.
found. So
Wow.
I'm more
Well,
conscious of it me when I go out and
oh
people say,
yeah.
oh, nature. I say,
Yeah.
behave yourself. Every
Oh
time
yeah.
Barry goes out at the minute in nature to film, his mics get sabotaged. It's weird.
Oh,
And I'm,
and males too. I know they say females are,
mm,
worrying on, when you're running through
mm,
public parks and things like that, but males on the hikes and the bushwalks, a lot of those go missing.
mm,
A lot of them are males
mm,
that missing people. So it's not just females, it's males too. And like you
mm,
said with the cliffs, that's male energy that
mm.
happens to. Mm.
So I always say to him, when you go into woods, anything like that we film in, really be grounded in those woods because there's beings in there that are just little
Yeah.
tips.
Yeah. Well, we don't know, do we?
Let's pull some cards for
There's so
it
many
because
things
it's
that we just don't
just,
know.
I think there's all kinds of things going on, but it's just niggling at me now. Do you know when something niggles away at you? So what deck do you think could be good for that? Asking about the elementals.
The elementals. Hmm. I don't know if I have too many elementals in my decks.
I know that's what. Um, I'm going to pull this deck because I was drawn to it for some reason. I've not used it yet, and I wasn't going to use this one. It's the forecaster. I know there's no elementals on it, but just let me ask, why do I keep getting this elemental connection? The connection of water, entities that are there.
I have a witch deck. Um, I'll just see if I can dig it out. It's one that I
You
use on
need you need a
Halloween.
new deck. We need two new decks. You need to do a roll deck for me, and you need to do this kind of a deck. Was it a
Yeah,
reptilian? Was it a
yes,
fairy?
for
Was it?
these weird things. Now, I've got a realm deck. Um, let's see if I can find this witch's deck. It's one of my little ones up the back. My witches. So I don't know if this is my little witchy deck. I normally use this around Halloween.
Mm. Assistance, support, intervention.
Help. Had help.
They
Help
helped her.
going in. Mm. So I wonder, yeah, I wonder who helped her. Did you? And you asked about,
Because if she's like you said, and I believe you, if she's coming so strong to all of these, she ain't just some normal woman.
no,
And
she's
she's appearing as
absolutely
swans
very
and she's
strong with her psychic
shape-shifting.
abilities.
She isn't just a
Mm.
normal woman. She ain't
Mm.
just 3D. She's not just backdrop. She's not
Yeah.
just,
No,
she's got something
no,
within her. She's got
100%.
friends in
Yeah,
other
definitely.
realms.
Very
In the
strong
right
energy.
way.
And I remember reading Rachel Marin after I read Nicola, and
Mm,
Rachel Marin's energy was very hesitant to step in to psychic energy.
mm,
She was distraught. She was a mess. Her energy was very, very chaotic and very traumatic what happened to her. But I remember her not being persistent in wanting to
mm,
step in and talk like
mm,
Nicola was. It took a little bit of really gentle coaching to
mm,
get her to open
mm,
up. Nicola, no way. She'd just step in and she would come to me in the shower. She would come to me in dreams. So I would not seek her. She would seek me like she did with many other people. So
mm.
very, very strong energy.
Unseen connections, hidden dynamics. Gives me
There you
like
go.
hand questing vibes. She's got friends in
That
different elements. So I think she's been taken.
that's probably the only card that would be connected to that kind of thing in that deck.
A sisterhood, a bond.
Yeah,
And
she
now
has
it
a
could even, yeah,
has a high guidance. So she's
witchy,
definitely in touch with her higher guidance
witch
on the other
energy as well.
side.
She's got a witch's hat
Mm.
on.
Mm. Yeah, this is my little witchy deck. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just
God,
stepping into
honestly,
her.
Trish, right? Even you here as a reader, you think I want that deck, that deck, that deck. I went to pick up the investigation deck, and it was a forecaster oracle. I was like, oh, I didn't want that one, and I was going to put it back, and I thought, no, don't. But look at this.
Yeah.
Outdated, dismantling, obsolete systems. The police system, the crowns are not trained in people being taken by entities and elementals and the seas, the fire, and all of it. They're not, okay, it's there,
Yeah.
obsolete.
Yeah.
Her
Uh,
life's in ruins. Her
the
husband's up to
mainstream
all
situ
sorts of tricks, allegedly. There's all sorts of things going on around her. And her friends step in and think, we're going to take you home. The systems in place can't deal with it because they've got no idea what they're doing.
and I got strange brew done to you. Strange brew done to you.
See, I'm not a conspiracy theorist all the time.
No.
I know, I know.
No.
You see, like Giordando, boom, you know straight away there's something going on there in the physical, the bullet.
Oh yeah.
And Widdicombe, you
Yeah.
know straight away there's something in the physical. But when I
Yeah.
start seeing people near rivers and seas and cliffs and things, I'm always going to say
Yeah.
there's something we can't discard.
Hikers,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Yeah, definitely. And then the other one I got was a toxic situation. So again, we're talking about toxicity, even though there was nothing in the toxicity report.
And I mean this in the kindest possible way. And this isn't against you because I trust you as a reader and I think you're on it and I think you're a good reader. But I remember at the time thinking there was that many psychics and seers and mediums. It just went wild. And not just that, but armchair detectives. And I'm thinking there's money being made from this, which this is going to be monetized as well. We all do it.
Mm,
But
mm,
algorithmic influence, information bias.
yeah,
And I think some,
yeah,
and I know as a reader, I get told off by my guides a lot of that
yeah,
sometimes I can go too fast into conspiracies. And I think it's my
exactly.
rising Scorpio that does it.
Yeah,
Um,
my Scorpio is my 10th house, so that's my what I
yeah,
do for a job. It's my
yeah,
Scorpio.
yeah. So I can go like when Catherine went missing, I just, it was like, whoa.
Yep,
Um,
yep,
and they always say there can be other things that go on. It doesn't honestly have to be Masonic. It doesn't always have to be, the
yeah,
music industry. There can be other things that happen. And I
yeah.
think with this algorithm information bias, she's gone missing straight away as seers. We can think
Hmm.
about it. And we actually miss what is it? Truth can be stranger than fiction.
Definitely. And I did get that. What did I get about? Oh, strange brew done to you. So a very strange situation. But that algorithm card reminds me, and like we had the conversation coming on that you've not looked into this case at
mm,
all because you
mm,
don't want to be biased in any
mm,
way. You don't want to know any information. Whenever I read any new case from the beginning, any case, I will not look at anybody else's videos. I will not look at any other
mm,
reader. I won't look at any armchair sleuths that put the pieces
mm,
together. I will look at none of them. I look at the police report and see the timeline, and I'll look at a picture because I like my first two readings to be more based on what I'm
mm,
picking up
mm,
psychically rather than what being biased from what is being reported on the internet.
mm,
Then I will go to the internet and I'll look at the things I've said and see if they're being picked up or other people are reporting on it, other psychics are talking the same,
mm,
or the armchair sleuths are putting it together and it's making sense. So after about the second reading, sometimes after the first, that's when I'll go and start investigating. But my first reading is always just a raw reading, just
mm,
direct contact and just, yeah, no algorithm bias in the
mm,
first reading,
mm,
just like you've come in with today.
mm.
I've come in with like lots of stuff because I very heavily investigated this one
Yeah, yeah.
2 years ago.
And
So it's just remembering.
yeah, and civil unrest, people jumping straight in, and not you. I don't mean you in this,
Yeah.
because honestly, I don't watch other readers, and I don't work,
Yeah.
definitely don't work with other readers because
Yeah.
they do my head in, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You're the only one that I work with
There's so
because it's
many. There's
just
so many.
yeah.
Yeah.
And wash away, cleanse the water. There we go.
Oh, water. Oh, wow. It's the water.
Mm,
And you're right. So many people, it was one of the cases that, I mean, millions, like not millions, but loads of people go missing. Loads of
mm,
people, their bodies are found, but they
mm,
don't become big cases on the algorithm or the internet.
mm,
Nicola Bulley is one of those ones that went worldwide. She was
mm,
worldwide. Everybody picked up. All the sleuths picked her up. All the psychics picked her up. Yeah, she was just one of those cases.
yeah.
Like
And
Idaho 4 is another one. Yeah, there's the guy, the young guy that you said in Spain, he was another one. Internet went wild about him. Gus Lamont here in Australia, everybody went wild over him, but the family
mm,
stepped in and
mm,
said they don't want the internet talking about him. They didn't want people coming to the property searching
mm,
for him. So really everybody got cut off from investigating Gus Lamont.
mm. It's a strange. So with what we've got to in this case in this video, how do you think it all fits then?
Mm. Well, I think it wasn't what they're saying.
No,
I think
definitely not. I think it's
that's
way out of it.
yeah. Yeah. And I remember her energy amping up once that report came through when they made the ruling that this was an accidental death or no foul play. Her energy became so intense because I just
Mm,
watched a video, one of my videos about the meditation and the dream that I had, and then I done a reading and I just said this stuff happened. I had so every single day I was getting contact from her, and this was coming after the ruling. So it was like she just went full on perimenopause. I'm not copping this. This is not what happened. People need to listen to me.
mm,
And it's like she just was in this perimenopause rage. And I can say that because I'm in that. I get
mm,
that.
mm,
And just was like, no, this is not what happened. I'm not letting people get away with this. I'm going to scream it to everybody I can
mm,
to let this know. She was very, very intense after that ruling.
mm,
Very strong energy
mm,
before, but I think she became very intense after it. She didn't agree with it.
mm. Do you
And
think that she could
that's
have
my
been in a
opinion.
situation of whatever in personal and work, financial, and her
Mm.
guides, her friends, elementals, the water, out in nature could have come in and gone, we'll take you out of that now because,
Maybe, because she might have been in. I definitely think there was issues going on around money and relationship,
yeah.
and that could have been, yeah, uh, enticing maybe to come out of that situation.
Mm,
But just and again, it is strange too because that would also explain why the body went missing for 10
mm,
days. And then where they done all that searching, couldn't find her, and then found her when the water came up and moved her from that spot
yeah.
they'd been
Yeah.
searching down over the weir. So yeah, that could be another explanation of how her body was not found
Mm.
where it was for those 10 days.
We underestimate the power of nature and what's out there.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
what was it the Irish talk about as well? Is it away with the fair when they say away with the fairies or the changelings?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
about to
oh
actually
my
start it.
God, I've just
I'm starting.
realised. I'm on
Yeah.
TikTok, we know that now, don't we? Because I always talk about it. I came across a video the other day and it was a Scottish pastor or somebody or vicar from like hundreds of years ago. that believed, obviously lived in Scotland, born in Scotland, and believed in fairies and elves and elementals and did
Hmm.
work on it. And he worked in the church as well. And he said he'd experienced it, he'd seen it, he'd spoken to locals about it. And I'm sure the video I saw, he died out in Scotland near the water, and the Scottish were convinced he'd been taken by the
Ah,
elementals.
ah.
And I saw that video this week because I sent it to my cousin because he lives in Scotland.
Because you hear those people on TikTok, because I love TikTok too.
Mm,
So you hear the people on there talking about the Fae traps that
mm,
the Fae leave for people that, and they go
mm,
missing.
mm,
Mm.
mm. Yeah,
One of, one of my friends loves bushwalking. She's always hiking, and or not lately, but she always hiking. I'm always really worried because
mm,
all the things that I've watched with the 411 investigations of the amount of people that go missing in mountains.
mm,
And they say they hear the whistling. Yeah, there's all these, yeah, strange
mm,
things that
mm.
happen. I mean, that could be the birds too.
Yeah.
The
We were trying to plan
mockingbird.
something for the solstice a couple of weeks ago, and well, actually, we go to Stonehenge, which gets very busy.
Yeah.
And Gary says, "Oh, we could go up to the Stones in Northumberland or something, or another
Ah.
off the beaten track stone circle." And I was like,
Mm,
"There is no
mm.
way we are going to a strange, quiet stone circle
Yeah.
off the beaten
Yeah.
track on a solstice."
Yeah.
Number one,
Yeah.
who's going to be there?
Turn
Could
your
be
turn your
anything.
light on and like I'm here.
And number two, we don't know what energies are going to be swirling. No, call me a
That's
chicken,
right.
but
That's right. And you don't know if there's any whack jobs out there that want to
mm.
perform certain rituals,
Well, there's just been that one in the UK, hasn't there, where he died in a stone circle
Oh no, I didn't know
in the
about that one.
solstice.
Haven't heard
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
On the solstice. Okay. No, I
yeah,
didn't know about that.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, what's the connection between the little world that she's living in, the whistleblowing, the life, the money issues, the group of people, and this thing that happens at the side of the river with the elementals? What's the bridge? What bridge is it? Blurred boundaries. It's blurred.
Mm.
It's look at justice summoned accountability.
Summoned.
Yeah, summoned.
Summoned to the
Justice
water.
summoned.
And I got on the outside of the circuit, looking on the periphery of, I guess maybe the mainstream, but looking on the
Yeah.
outside of the circle, outside of the maybe logical thought,
Mm,
but on the periphery. Maybe things you don't see directly with your
yeah.
eyes.
Fire wrath. Another element, the element of
It is.
fire.
It is.
Tension heating up, anger, rage. Spotlight flux
Now,
entertainment.
is there an elemental that sounds like the word wrath?
Wrath.
Yeah, I wonder. No, I'll have to have a look and put it in the
Yeah,
comments if I figure that out. But I'm
yeah.
I'm wondering if there's something that sounds like wrath that's an elemental energy.
Do you know something else? We got the spotlight flux entertainment. We know fairies are, and they do love attention. What
Mm.
if they saw a perfect opportunity to also get attention and reveled in it?
Mm.
How many
But yeah.
people walked round and walked to that area and these elementals are people like she's on drugs. I'm not on drugs, but I'm just telling you, all the people that then went and harvesting,
Oh yeah.
all the people that went
Mm.
to where this woman went into the water or whatever, all the
Hmm.
people, the sleuths,
Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
possibly why it took this psychic, because I think there's something in his heritage that makes him protected to go
And
in there and
connected.
find her.
And connected, that's right. So maybe he was called, maybe he was summoned to
Yeah.
go and on that specific day to that area. So maybe he has some kind of connections. Yeah, like you
Mm,
said, to have him summoned to that area
mm.
psychically to find her on that day.
Cognitive disruption, shift in thinking, that there is more to the world than
Yeah. That's a
rituals
pretty
and
good deck to
sacrifice.
read for this kind of thing, isn't it?
Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I wasn't even going to pick it up because it was by
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah. And I'm here thinking which deck would best read that kind of thing. Well, yeah, it's a surprising way to read that deck. Very versatile.
Mm.
Mm.
So when you're out walking round your rivers, your lakes, your woods, your mountains, be mindful.
Yes.
Be very
Yeah, there's
mindful.
definitely much more than just the physical.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to do a joint on the Amy Bradley, I think, from this
Yeah.
perspective, because again,
So
that's another one.
another water one. Yeah, that would be a good one. I think I did one reading on her. So I wouldn't, and I watched the Netflix documentary on that one. So again, I
Yeah, I
kind of
did.
know I've got suspicions of who it was. Actually, the funny thing with that video was the minute I watched that, the first, like in the first scene of that Netflix documentary, there was like the bass player or the guitar player, and I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, he's shady.
mm,
First glimpse I got of him, I'm like, yeah,
mm,
he's shady. And it turns out his name was Yellow. So yeah, turns out there's a path around him as well. It's a
mm,
connection to her with him.
There's all kinds of weird
Mm.
stuff goes on cruise ships.
Mm. Yeah, well, you're
So
very brave. You cruise a
I
lot.
know we don't know.
Yeah.
Not until they
Yeah. Oh,
will.
you
Yeah.
don't? Yeah.
No, we've
Yeah.
stopped. I think we went last year, but that was it because it was just so
Mm,
sensitive.
mm,
Um, and yeah, and I think it
yeah.
affects people as well. You see people and they're so affected by it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a lot of people can't settle. You'll sit in the pool area on a sea day, and you're
Yeah.
relaxing, and you'll see them pacing, and it's like
Yeah.
this isn't right. They're affected by
Yeah.
something.
And there's for me, because I've been on a couple of cruises, but it's like there's so many people in it feels it's like they're large. The cruise ships are large, but
Mm,
for me it's like I like space. So, so like to it's just yeah, so many
mm,
people that I find it very hard to relax when there's so many people. And then it's the getting off, and the getting on and that kind
mm.
of stuff. Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Interesting. So what do you think to it then? Do you think it's plausible? It isn't in the physical. I know that.
Yeah. No, I think there could be elements there and
I mean, the police, we may be underestimating them. They may know all of this. And
mm,
they think, well, we can't let this go out into the domain.
oh God, no. I don't even think the police would know. I
Yeah.
think, and I pulled that card of negligence. So
Mm.
really, how well did they investigate anything, let alone the unknown? I
Mm.
really don't think they would have
No.
looked into anything unknown. It just would have been, okay, we've found her body. We're ruling this as an accidental passing.
I asked, final card, what do you think, Nicola, about the summing up of this whole video, where we've got to? And the card, joosh, flipped out on its clarity. I see clearly now in your dreams.
Oh,
So
oh,
there's
that makes me
clarity
cry.
there. Which kind, if
Oh,
she has gone in this way, it feels that whatever being's coming, it's not been a nasty thing like a reptilian or something. Um,
yeah.
it's
Oh
been
no,
something
no.
that's coming for her to save her. Was she
Mm.
called? She was called to that river by something else. Called her to because we know, don't we, that water is a conductor. You'll get most of
Oh
your
yeah.
psychic messages in the
Oh,
shower, on the
100%.
toilet, when you're
Yeah,
washing
me.
up.
Yeah. Most of my medium stuff comes from when I'm in the shower. My downloads when I'm creating decks, a lot of them either happen in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll get them, or I'll get them if I'm having a bath, if I'm sitting in water. That's where I get most of
Mm,
the downloads from. But definitely, it's absolutely a strong conductor.
yeah.
And she was probably drawn to that energy,
Mm,
drawn to I feel she would have been drawn. I do. And whether or not she was a practicing psychic, I
mm,
feel she was very, very switched on and connected in some way and
mm,
probably connected to nature elements.
mm,
I mean, I see her as the swan. She always comes to me as the
mm,
swan, shape-shifting too, by the way, for the swan.
mm,
That like when we talked about
mm,
before we
mm,
came on.
mm.
But I feel, yeah, I think that she would have been very connected to nature and perhaps because of that, may have been connected to elements, the elementals.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was a very beautiful, attractive woman as well. So,
Yeah, now I got something interesting just to like for the last what she thinks of
yeah.
summarizing this. I got a work connection, which yeah, I can't remember what I picked up on the work
Mm,
connection, and then it's a foolish moment of weakness. So
mm,
yeah, maybe she was in a state of stress with work. Maybe she uncovered something at work. Maybe she felt unsafe at work. Maybe there was a bunch of stuff going on at home.
mm,
She was probably, if a sister felt to put in a wellness check for her, a safety check with the police, maybe she was in a vulnerable state and
mm,
maybe there was issues around work and money and relationships, and that was enough to be a moment of weakness.
yeah. Do you
Mm.
know what, though? We know ourselves when you're having a spiritual awakening, you can turn to alcohol. You can become very ungrounded and erratic.
Mm.
Compared to the 3D around you, they're like, oh, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
So
Oh
she's not,
yeah. Oh
I
God,
mean,
yeah.
to be taken like this, like in that, something's been coming in rapidly.
Yeah. Maybe. And they also say too that menopause is a
Mm,
very is an opportunity of opening
mm,
psychic abilities.
mm,
I remember watching the remote viewers, and they used to like hiring um homosexuals. They said were very
mm,
good readers,
mm,
and menopausal women were very good readers.
mm,
That
mm,
was not
mm,
my words, but that's what
mm,
that come out of their mouth, that they like to train up in remote viewing.
mm. I've
But yeah,
just read a book
interesting.
yesterday. I finished it. It's called Shamanic Reiki, and he talks about that in his book
Mm,
about homosexuals, and it's something to
mm.
do with the divine feminine, the divine masculine.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And he
absolutely.
explains it much better than I can, and says
Yep.
that in the ancients, the ancient
Yep.
Native Americans used to call on them to help them with the seeing and the healing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what we're supposed to strive to, that unity
Mm,
of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and they're
mm,
probably the closest to it.
mm.
Mm,
And is that why
that
society is
makes
trying to
sense.
get you to hate them?
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want us to have our antennas switched on.
Yeah, yeah. And the different people of races that we know have powers,
Yeah.
different places of the country that they come from, of the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they don't like those running free, knowing what we're
Mm,
really living. Mm.
yes. So I'm happy with that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. It was good. It was actually really fun to step back into her energy again. I've been looking forward to this one all week.
Yeah.
Just to engage back into Nicola's energy. Yeah, I'm so grateful to her for she's the whole reason I'm on YouTube.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
Should we have a look at Amy Bradley in August?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do a water one, a cruise
Yeah.
ship one.
Yeah, let's do an Amy Bradley because yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that'd
the
be good.
energy around that's calmed down a lot again because when the Netflix thing, because I was obsessed with that.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it was so over the top, the energy with
it
that.
was. And
I
so
think now
many
it's
questions, so
yeah.
many unanswered questions in that documentary. It's like I
Mm,
have to get the cards out because I have to know. I want to know what happened.
mm,
Yeah. And it went mad. It went that one there. And the latest one, because of all the Netflix documentaries, is Sharilla, the case of the Sharilla girl, car accident, two males in the car with her smashed into a building. She's now in jail.
mm,
But that one there is all over TikTok. And that one's because it's got a lot of different documentaries on the internet about her.
mm,
Netflix have got a few different documentaries. Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
Mm.
So
Yeah, Amy Bradley.
yeah,
Yeah, next time
we'll
a
see
cruise
you all
ship
in
one. A water
August.
one.
Like,
Mm.
comment, share,
Yep.
subscribe, all of that. Put your comments down below. Um, follow Trishe's channel, that'll be below the decks. You've got a shop on your YouTube channel, haven't you?
I do. I attach
Mm,
on the recent videos, I always attach the cards that I'm using, so you can just click on them on the video. But my all my details are on my
mm,
YouTube channel for to get to the internet, to get to the YouTube
yeah.
channel.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm
And
looking
the
for.
one that is on special at the moment, and I know you've got that one, is the pink one. You know, the one we use for scandals when we're looking
Oh,
at
I've got that
scandal
here.
stuff.
This one. It's this one,
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
one there. That one I'm selling out because I've got some new things coming in at the end of the year. So I've got some new decks, may even look at the witchy deck. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I've got some really new exciting things that I'm really excited about. So I need to make room, and plus it costs a lot of money to get these things in.
Mm.
So I'm selling out some older decks and to make way for buying some newer ones. So yeah, one of the ones that I am clearing is that one. Yeah, the
Oh, I
one we
like
use
that.
for
I'd
scandals.
recommend getting that everyone because
Scandals.
I like that. That can you can
Yeah.
use that in your own like world as well for people
Oh
around you.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
for client sessions as well. I've used it in client sessions. I
Oh,
always
well,
warn them
yeah.
with these
I
decks, so when
haven't
I
done
use
that.
them,
Okay.
that there's no going back. There's no. I
That's right.
cannot. Um, you know,
Sugarcoat it.
if
You
you
can't
ask me,
sugarcoat
is
what
your
comes
partner
out.
cheating, and we get the betrayal card,
Yeah. Sorry. I can't sugarcoat my way out of this one.
especially if we get investigation deck out, I would say once we go
Mm.
here, there's no going back.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been great. I've had
Yeah,
heaps of
enjoyed
fun.
it. And
Look forward to next month,
we'll catch you in August.
August. Yep. Bye, everyone.